Hi everyone, my name is Lee Sieng. Now I want to present about Malaysian students to complete schooling until Form 5. Okay, for the background of this issue, education is an important cornerstone for the development of a country. In Malaysia, despite the effort of the Ministry of Education (MOE) over the years, the problem of dropout and absenteeism in the secondary school stage still persist. The MOE has proposed a mandatory secondary education policy requiring all students to complete the course of the Form 5 of high school and take the national examination, the standard preparatory school graduation examination (SPM). As of the beginning of January 2025, approximately 1,000 SPM candidates had not confirmed their participation in the national examination. The overall attendance rate of the 2024 SPM was 97%, but still thousands of students fail to take the exam. Okay, community promotion activities such as Chakna Jara programs were carried out, but the dropout rate still exists. This issue is important because every dropout student loses an opportunity for personal development, and it also leads to a decline in the overall quality of the country's workplace. Okay, for the key impact, as of January 2025, 1,000 SPM candidates were unaccounted. The dropout rate is concentrated in low-income, rural, and marginalized communities. Voluntary measures alone are not sufficient to solve this problem. There were reports of late history exam paper in 2024, which were later proven to be unfounded. But this reflects the persistent institutional pressure. Okay, for the pros and cons of the policy, there's an advantage and disadvantage lah. For the first advantage, they can ensure that every student receive at least a minimum level of formal education, reduce the long-standing skill gap in the labor force, promotes social equity, especially for students from the B40 population. Like with United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4, providing inclusive and quality education for all. For the disadvantage is may infringe upon the autonomy of individuals or families. Students from disadvantaged background face structural barriers, transportation cost, or family pressure. Without a support system, relying solely on the law may not be effective. There is a risk that student may attend school physically but not engage in learning actively. For the argument, for the fact statement, as of January 2025, approximately 1,000 SPM Malaysian high school examination candidates had not yet confirmed their participation in the exam, despite the Ministry of Education's continuous active promotional activity during 2024. This indicate that voluntary effort alone are not sufficient. For the value proposition, every child in Malaysia, regardless their socio-economic background, has the right to complete secondary education, the government has a moral responsibility to ensure that no student is left behind. Policy proposition is the Malaysian government should legally enforce secondary education until the Form 5. Being a binding policy supplemented by financial assistance and community resources is the most effective way to ensure universal education participation. Okay, for the evidence supporting the argument, domestic evidence, 1,000 unconfirmed SPM candidates despite Jagna Jara program. Dropout rate disproportionately affect B40 and rural students. Voluntary measures have not produced consistent result. For the international evidence, countries such as Germany, South Korea, Japan, and Finland have implemented compulsory secondary education and have consistently ranked high in global education in this. Okay. For the this country demonstrate that with adequate support, compulsory education can increase literacy rate, labor productivity, and reduce inequality. Okay, for the economy research, the research conducted by the World Bank indicate that for every additional year of education received, an individual's lifetime income will increase significantly, and it will also have a positive impact on a country's gross domestic product. Compulsory education is not only an investment in education but also an economy investment. Okay, for the counter argument and refundable, for the counterpoint, for the first counterpoint, compulsory education infringe upon the right of individuals and families. For the refundation is, this policy is not intended to punish families. It is the government commitment to ensuring that every child has access to basic education. It reflects a civil standard, not an individual restriction. For the second counterpoint is students from poor family will encounter obstacles that the law cannot address. For the refundation is it is precisely for this reason that this policy must be combined with economic assistance, such as scholarship, school meal program, and transportation subsidies. The law set the standards, the support system enable it to be realized. For the third counterpoint is the 97% attendance rate indicate that the situation is under control. Refundable is in a system that aimed for 100% participation. For the 3% gap still mean that thousands of students are unable to participate each year. If no intervention is taken, this gap will continue to widen over time and result is more and more adult not receiving secondary education. For the conclusion is the problem of school dropout and absenteeism in Malaysia still exists and is real, measurable and persistent. Voluntary measures such as Satna Zara have been helpful, but they are not enough. Then the proposed policy of mandatory secondary education is logically reasonable, morally justifiable and supported by local data and international evidence. This argument successfully integrate factual claims, value claims, and policy claims into a coherent position. Okay, with targeted assistance supports, compulsory education is a feasible and fair solution. Okay, for the recommendation is formulate relevant policies. Formally stipulate through the parliament that secondary education should be extended to the Form 5. Then we can strengthen financial support, increase scholarship, food assistance, and transportation subsidy for P40 students. We also can enhance community participation, not only conduct communities visit activities, but also equip dedicated school social workers and establish a follow-up mechanism. We also can carry out monitoring and evaluation, establish a tracking system for at-risk students, and formulate a yearly intervention plan. We also can address the root causes. We can solve poverty and family instability, which are potential factors leading to dropout. Okay, this is a reference lah. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you.